All right, here we are with Tatiana with this week's Mortgage Minute, and it's been a little while. It's with the Thanksgiving holiday and everything, so catch us up. Tell us what's been going on.
Hey guys, hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. It was a
Yes.
long weekend for us. We didn't work for 2.5 days. It was like unheard of.
What do we do with ourselves?
But it was very nice. And yeah, so this week was great for interest rate. The rate actually went down for fifth consecutive week. So let me show you the slides right here. Can you see?
Yep.
Oh, isn't that so pretty?
Nice.
Yeah, looks very cute. 7.1% on conforming. We have 6.9 on FHA. So yeah, it's great. Actually, the rates are in their lowest since early September.
Okay.
And positive economic data is commentary for Federal Reserve's officially hinting at forthcoming rate cuts. So that's always good. Another good news is that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and FHA and VA, I'm sure, is gonna join them, increased the loan limits for 2024. They do it every year. If you remember last time, I believe we spoke about rate limits.
Yeah.
I mean, loan limits before in our area, and they different in different areas, of course, but overall, conforming loan limit was a 726 200. Now they raised it to 766 550.
Wow.
And for high balance, they raised it from 1.89,300 to 1.149,825. So it went up. It means that more people could get into mortgage and a higher loan amounts without putting 25% down. I mean, 20% down and going jumbo financing. So that's also positive data. I want to talk a little bit about the difference in interest rate. So the rates were very recently like 8%, right?
Mhm.
So what is the difference between 8% and 7%? Because now, average is 7, right?
Right.
7.1 on conventional, 6.9 on FHA. So we're talking about $438 difference on a loan amount of 640. So if it's 640 loan amount, 8% rate, principal and interest is 46.96, and 7% rate is 42.58. That's $438 less in the payment per month, or $5,200 savings per year.
Yeah.
Definitely good time to start going back and looking for properties. The market is not as crazy right now, and with holidays and everything. So, and I'm sure once holidays are over, and if rates are keep on going down or staying even in this level, people are gonna go back and we're gonna start seeing again the multiple offers and price increases. So I think this is really good time to buy right now.
And that's a really good point, because we even have a listing that went under contract and coming soon. Was like 10 days ago.
Yeah.
And
Tatiana, it was in coming soon for just one day. And I don't know, not everybody realizes this, but when a property is on coming soon, we can't show the property in that status. It went under contract in one day, sight unseen. The people didn't even look at it.
Yeah. So the market is still kind of chaotic. So I know a lot of people think that we're going into a buyer's market, and the fact is we're just not.
Yeah.
And like you just said, if they hang out and wait until next year, if the rates keep coming down, or if we just get out of the holiday season, it's going to become more chaos. So
yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
I have a question. Is there a certain amount of interest rate that it has to be lower for someone to refinance? For example, I know they have to wait 6 months from when they got their loan, but is there a limit? Like, could they refinance for just 1%, or they have to run the numbers? Tell me, what do you think about that?
Yeah, well, not all programs require you to wait for 6 months. They can actually refinance even sooner.
Okay.
But we need to run numbers for particular situation, for particular loan amount, to see what makes sense for them. Definitely when it's a higher dollar amount, even sometimes 0.5% makes sense to refinance. When it's lower loan amount, then you stretch it to maybe 1%, because it's just not that big difference in the payments. So when we looking into refinancing, we're not just gonna refinance you just because you want, right? We want to see that there is a benefit to you, and we analyze it by looking at what monthly savings you're gonna get and how long it will take you to recoup the payment, the closing cost, because there is still a closing cost. It's not as much as when you're purchasing, but you still have sales taxes that you have to pay and title company fees. With Prosperity, for example, right now, when clients buy with me and then they refinance by the end of 2025, we waive our lender fee, the origination fee, but all other fees, they're still going to be there. So we have to look at how many months it will take them to break even, so to say, and then based on that, we need to see at least $100 improvement in the payment, and 24 months recoup time. But it also depends on what clients are doing. So like sometimes people refinance from adjustable rate mortgage to 30-year fixed, so that's already a benefit, or from 30-year fixed to 15 years, so they're shortening the term. Or sometimes even if they did 15-year fixed and then they realize that this payment is too much for us, we want to go back to 30, and that's gonna be again a benefit. So there's some differences in benefits, but we do look at definitely that they need to be, if it's just 30-year to 30-year, the same type of loan, we just look at how much money they're saving and how long it takes them to.
Okay. Yeah, very
Makes
good.
sense.
That makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. So that is good news with the interest rates.
That is really good
That's
news.
great. All right, just in time for the holidays. All right. Anything else going on interest rate wise?
No, that's it. Let's see what happens next week. I'll give you an update on that.
Okay,
Yeah,
very good. All right, well, I have a question. And I know you know about this question because you're going to have slides. But what kind of income what kind of income is counted when you for a lender in order to get a mortgage? Because we get this, especially from first-time home buyers, they'll call and they'll say, hey, I just don't know if I'm able to qualify for this loan, or somebody that maybe isn't a first-time home buyer, they'll switch jobs and they're asking, can this, basically, how does this work?
One real world example. Okay, so in this scenario, let's say you've got a husband and wife, they're both going to be on the loan. They both have salaried jobs, but the wife wants to count her income. Let's say she has an Etsy shop and she's been selling
wine openers
for let's say 8 months, and she's making average like $1,000 a month. Can she count that income?
We cannot count that income because we have to see 2 years of history. First of all, she's probably self-employed, so we need to see 2 years history of being self-employed. But when we have 2 jobs, person has 2 jobs, we need to see history of them working those 2 jobs for 2 years. Just because working 2 jobs is not easy, we want to make sure that person is capable physically to work 2 jobs, and we need 2 years for us to be, okay,
prove they can
we believe you can do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I do have slides. Sean was right. So there are a couple of different categories, I would say. So just income regular, we have a base salary. Typically ask to see 1 month of pay stubs. So it's cookie cutter. You're making 100,000 a year. That's it. Easy.
Okay, wait, I
And
gotta stop you.
I'm
So
sorry?
somebody goes and gets a job and they have a base salary and they've been working at it for 2 months, they could qualify for a mortgage?
Sometimes
Wow.
it depends on the program. We could actually use that income if they only have a job offer letter and they didn't even start.
Oh,
Wow,
again.
okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's conventional finance, and there's some caveats to that, but in most cases, someone gets job offer and they're gonna start after they buy the house. It's acceptable.
okay,
Wow.
fantastic.
Excellent,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah, it's great. So when it's hourly, we'll look at it a little bit differently because hourly hours could fluctuate. Even if you're full-time, 40 hours, maybe sometimes you work 38, we need a year of
Okay.
that type of income to average. When somebody gets bonus or overtime, tip income, commission, we also need to have, depends on the program, from 1 to 2 years
okay.
minimum.
So
Part
overtime is 1 to 2 years as well?
overtime from
Okay.
1 to 2 years. On conventional, you could be like 1 year. FHA definitely gonna be 2 years at least.
Okay, okay, and I'm asking for clarification because our camera, the picture's right over what the overtime says.
Oh,
Just wanna
okay.
make sure
Yeah, I
there's no-
forgot about that. I'm sorry.
That's okay,
No,
that's
that's
okay.
okay.
That's the only one that was
You can
covered,
see
so the
most
rest
of
are
it,
good,
so-
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, yes.
overtime is 2
So
years.
yeah, so overtime 1 to 2 years.
Okay,
Commission, we need to see 2 years of that.
okay,
Part-time also 1 to 2 years. Seasonal jobs, like someone maybe mows lawns in summertime, or doing landscaping, for
Okay.
example. We need to see 2 years history of that. Person self-employed, most cases we need 2 years, sometimes 1. I'm not gonna go in like details, but it all depends, right? And the last bullet point to what Kelly, you were asking about, that multiple jobs, we need to see 2 years working those 2 jobs. Doesn't have to be the same employer, actually. They could change employers, but we have to see 2 years of uninterrupted, they quit one company, they started right away with different one, that's fine, but we
Of
need
maintaining the 2 jobs.
to maintain
Okay.
jobs.
Okay.
okay,
So that's just regular income. So then we have some not alternative income, but the other type of incomes, like
Yeah.
for
Okay.
example, child support and alimony, right? So we can use that as long as it continues for 3 years. Somebody receives child support, child is 17, it's gonna stop at age 18, we cannot use that.
Okay.
okay, so you don't need 3 years of history, you need to know they're gonna receive it at
Gonna
least for another
continue.
3 years.
Right.
Okay.
Depending on the program, we do need to see history of receipts. In some programs, it's 4 months, others is 6 months at least.
Okay, okay,
But continuation is very important component for all categories.
Okay.
In reality, even there's regular jobs too. Pension, disability income, social security, that's one that's easy, we just get social security award letter. Foster care income, foreign income when someone works in foreign country, but they file that income on US taxes, we can use that. Rental income, definitely, we look at tax returns for that. Dividend income, trust, and survivor benefits. So those are other type of incomes, but and actually also for rental income, I forgot to mention, like if someone has accessory unit, they live in the house and they have additional house, some programs allow to use that income.
Okay. Do they have to have proven income for a certain amount of time, or have
we would need to see tax returns for a year.
okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
Okay.
That was actually really,
Yeah.
that was, I expected like, just a quick, you need 2 years, but that was a great breakdown. I appreciate that.
Well, I think this is so important because there are so many people who don't realize the income they have would actually count, you know, such as the child support and things like that. And then other people assume that there is the income they make as on a side gig would count, and it's like it has to qualify. They have to.
Yeah. Or they may make a choice, you know, as we've seen, you have to have history. So they may go
Right.
get a job for 6 months at one job and then be like, I don't like it. And then go and do that 4 or 5 times. They've got 2 years of work history, but they've worked in all different professions.
Right.
That wouldn't necessarily count, would it? Because they're all over the place.
Well, we do need to see stability, and if they change in professions all the time, that of course that's a red flag. It will have to be analyzed deeply by underwriter, and it's going to be possibly their discretion to see. Also, they're going to look at, okay, so they change in jobs, but is it benefiting them? Maybe the income is increasing, or if income is going down, then well, we can use that.
Okay.
I have a question. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind that you noticed with the pandemic, with layoffs? Did you notice a lot of people quitting salaried jobs and going and like trying something new?
What pandemics? I already forgot. Well, yes and no. I've seen a lot of we had some challenges right after 21, when people, you know, in 2020 they had much lower income, especially those who were self-employed. So that was challenging because unfortunately we still had to take into account that income was low. We wouldn't just say, okay, well, that's because of pandemic, so we're not gonna count it. So now it's kind of behind us. I don't know. I can't really think that people change jobs because of that. Yeah, nothing stood out. I don't know. Maybe because it's already 2023, almost 24. But I'm sure there were situations like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't change.
No. We changed right before.
We bought a house, actually.
Yeah. All right.
For some people, COVID was actually good. You know, it's weird to say that,
we were
but
blessed
for some
COVID.
it worked well. For others, unfortunately not.
For some, but
All right. Any other questions?
not from me.
All right.
I've missed you the last few weeks.
I miss you too, guys. I'm so glad that holidays are sort of over. Well, we have you know, Christmas coming up, but I think we will still be shooting, right? And
we'll have a chaotic Christmas video because she's got all her family coming in town, so they'll all be running around in the background.
That's gonna be so much fun. My mom will probably try to join in. I'll cover her mouth.
That would be cool. I'm gonna wear my Santa hat.
You've got to.
Oh yes.
Yeah, got to do it.
Oh, I might get reindeer things.
Yes, antlers.
That would be fun. Reindeer things.
That's a good idea. Make your family run around. I like when somebody walks by that stairs. It's like very surreal.
Yeah. We should have that like as the background. Like we should AI it. I'm gonna figure out a program.
We should get all our cats all up there.
One time I saw cats. It was
All right. Well, okay. So if anybody wants to reach out to you, how do they get in touch with you?
I'm available 24/7 at 571-245-3000.
All right.
And that's right, everybody. She is always available.
Yes, she is.
That's why we love Tatiana.
All right. Thank you so much. And we will see you next week.
See you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.